Right, should we go into the takeovers because we're nearly an hour down.
Yes, NXT. That's mad. That's just fun news.
Yeah.
NXT Tag Championship match: the Street Profits versus Undisputed Era. I thought was unreal. I know a lot of people. I know Jack said this. Jack said that it was probably the most weakest NXT takeover, but I think for me, this match was mainly seeing things in tag team wrestling that I've never seen before, and that's why I really enjoyed this more than probably some of the other matches on the card.
Yeah, see, for me, I really enjoyed the match. It's because I don't watch NXT week to week. I only get my opinion of wrestlers is solely based on takeovers, and I like that because it just makes sense to me to do. Unless something amazing happens in a NXT which gets flagged up on Reddit, I'll watch it from there. But I mean, I knew of the Street Profits. I've seen bits and bobs from Street Profits. Shout out to Montez, you're our boy. But you've got he's our boy. He's our boy for life, man. We've got just seeing Street Profits work in a match, and a really technical match like that the Undisputed Era bring in. It was a really enjoyable match.
Oh yeah,
and you had what I forgot the other guy's name. Montez. What's the other guy's fucking name?
Angelo Dawkins.
Angelo Dawkins throwing people around, literally throwing Bobby Fish, and seeing just again going back to what Sweden said, seeing things that I don't necessarily get to see that often. Or see at all.
Like Montez Ford trying to do a people's elbow.
That was funny.
And then doesn't get a chance to do it, but then comes back in the ring and does a
rock bottom.
Rock bottom anyway. I think it's just like stuff where they're obviously they do I can't remember which tag team used to do it, but where he drapes them over the top rope, he's holding him on his shoulders. All around his waist, and then Montez jumps over him and lands on him. I can't remember who did that.
I can't remember myself either.
But like you don't see some of that stuff anymore, or some of the Montez Ford's spinebuster is a thing of beauty.
Yes, it is.
Like I thought Bobby Roode's spinebuster when I saw him do it was, that looks good. But yeah. Montez Ford is better, I think.
Montez is money, genuinely, and that's not a knock on Angelo Dawkins. Montez, they've got some money in Montez. Seriously, he could be champion. He could be Universal Champion. He's got the charisma
as well, and I think that's why Vince has asked them to come up to do backstage segments
because he's funny.
They're funny, and like Angelo Dawkins is beatboxing wrestlers' theme tunes and stuff like that. It's great.
They complement each other very well because Angelo's a bit more deadpan than Montez, and Montez is very eccentric, very entertaining, and Angelo's a bit more sort of placid and quite deadpan. And the way the two sort of mesh together is very, very entertaining. And that's what they are. They're an entertaining tag team that can go. And Montez is incredibly athletic, and the height he gets on a frog splash is unreal.
Wasn't there No, it wasn't him. Ignore me.
It's a 5-star frog splash. It's up there with RVD in terms of height because it's just nuts, and like I really just enjoy watching them. And yeah, I have got a man crush. Yeah, Montez, he man crush. They're just very entertaining to watch, and I hope they stay down there for a bit longer and continue to elevate the NXT tag division.
Yeah,
I look forward to seeing more from them. Yes.
Then we shifted into something a bit more serious. Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai, and when I first watched this, I only watched up to the triple threat. So I didn't see the main event, and I didn't see the women's title match.
Yeah.
So at that point, when I went to bed, I was like, "That for me is match of the night so far." Like,
yeah. When I watched it all the way through. I'll be honest. I didn't. No. I watched tag title match, Candice Io Shirai, and most of the Triple Threat live. Fell asleep. Watched the last two and a bit the next morning. And at the time, I thought I watched it, and then I put in the group, Candice Io Shirai match of the night straight away, and then watched the championship match again. And then thought, actually, it's not. It's the championship match that's better. But honestly, that Candice Io Shirai match, Io Shirai, my God, I cannot wait. I can't wait for that fucking thing to hit on fucking Spotify and everything else. It needs to happen now. Hurry
up, CFO.
Oh my God. Well, the Fiend one's already out. Get that one out. Fuck's sake.
Exactly.
But no, it was. I didn't know what to expect. We all knew Io Shirai could go. We knew that already.
I liked Io Shirai, like seeing little bits of her heel turn, and I was like, and then I saw the Candice LeRae stuff, and I was like, do you know what? Going into it, I wasn't really bothered. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Io Shirai's heel work leading up to it, I probably would have skipped this.
It's. I get what you're saying. It's something that I mentioned that the match surprised me on the basis that I went into the match with sort of no sort of clear idea when we knew Io Shirai was going to win, but there was no sort of clear idea of just how and how well Io Shirai handles being a heel, because we know Candice is white meat babyface, fantastic in the ring. Candice, she's fucking brilliant. But I didn't go into it with any sort of preconceived idea that, oh my God, this is going to be amazing, and I wasn't let down, or oh my God, this is going to be shit, and I was sort of let up from it. I went in there completely sort of judgment free, wait to see what happens, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's just a fantastic match from start to finish.
Instant 5 stars.
Pardon?
Spanish Fly instant 5 stars.
Yeah. I mean, I put it as a joke on Twitter. 5 star. We had a fucking Spanish Fly, top pro Spanish Fly, 5 star. Simple. Yeah, I mean, I put 3 3/4, but whatever. We'll go with 5.
It was very good how I can't remember if it's Candice really took it to Shirai first off, didn't she? She literally just didn't wait.
Yeah.
Just boom.
And Shirai took control like a motherfucker.
Like we had use of the announce table with a suplex. We had things like just like trying to deliver 619s and stuff like that. Oh my God, Candice LeRae doing a torpe suicida, but instead of doing that, turns it into a tornado DDT.
It catches Mauro Ranallo out.
I was not expecting it, and neither was Mauro Ranallo. I was like, oh my God.
Mauro Ranallo, torpe suicida DDT, tope suicida DDT, what the... And proper Mamma Mia chants and that sort of shit. No,
Only bleeping dude.
Oh, it was just pure nuts. No, it was fantastic. I loved it. I loved just the way they told the story. Io Shirai comes off looking fucking badass. Candice comes out of it looking incredible as well. She's, she got beaten by an absolute fucking psychopath, and that's fine. It's fine. It leads on to the women's title match, which no, it doesn't. It's the North American Championship, so we'll do that now. Then we'll do the women's championship match in a minute.
I don't know what I think about this match, and I know if I speak my mind, Jack's gonna hang me.
You want to know why? Because it's 3 fantastic workers in the ring. You came in with high expectations and it fell slightly short.
Yeah, a little.
Or
bit.
Is it Pete Dunne at the pin?
No, it wasn't even the fact that Pete Dunne lost and ate the pin. It was just, I don't know. It seemed to lack something for me. I just can't find what it was, but it was still a good match.
Oh, very entertaining.
I genuinely think this. I think Jack said that this was better than the Candice LeRae match. I don't think it was.
Well, I think the reason why is, again, for me. Bear in mind, we've started our own internal star rating system, a Meltzer 5-star system, if you will, and it's. I mean, I've given the North American title 3.5, and I gave the Candice and Io match 3 3/4, and that's a personal preference on the basis that expectations. And we know Velveteen can go. We know Roderick Strong can go. We know Pete Dunne can go. We know all 3 of them working together should be gold. It should have been a 5-star match, but to me, it just lacked a little bit. And that's nothing against any of the wrestlers.
Oh, definitely.
It was just a little bit. Yeah. I even said in the DMs, it was like, there's something wrong with this pay-per-view to me. I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but something just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know what it is. It's one of those weird ones that I can't really explain.
Yeah, that's same with me. Like, I love Velveteen Dream, I love Pete Dunne, I love Roderick Strong, but this match, although it was very good, I just felt like it lacked something. I don't know why.
I think it could have gone a little bit longer, to be honest. It did feel quite short. It felt
maybe because it was a triple threat. I don't know. Triple threats are always one of those things where, because obviously at certain points you're going to have three people in an absolute clusterfuck.
Oh yeah, and
then you're going to get points where it's just two of them and one person's going to be outside the ring for a long period of time.
Or you have all three of them punching each other in the faces for a little bit, which
was great.
Like, it was funny, but it's just again. I don't know what to say. I honestly don't. And this is a podcast where I'm supposed to talk about things, but I can't eloquently explain why this match wasn't more than it was. I mean, as it maybe it could have gone a little bit longer. Maybe it needed a couple more high spots, or maybe it needed a bit more ferocity to it. But there was just something that just didn't seem to click perfectly for me. Again, and it was a fine match. It was a perfectly fine match. If it was
like the coast to coast airway, that was
yeah, fun. Yeah. If this was on a Raw or SmackDown, we'd be ranting and raving about it.
Yes,
but it was on a takeover. It was from three arguably some of the best workers in NXT period, and it just felt a little off to me.
In some ways, I think it was there to kind of calm you down a little bit after the heel barrage of what's happened before, maybe, and.
I guess.
Therefore, it's not going to be over the top, but
you could argue the placing was a little off.
To be better than the previous, I think.
You could argue that the placing would have been a bit off. I mean, Shayna Baszler and Mia Yim wasn't really anything to me at all, and that you could argue that the placing in that match could have been a bit different. You could have swapped that and the North American title match around, and that maybe could have kept it a bit better, but again, it's so hard. It's difficult to nitpick, but that because it sounds like that's what I'm doing. It sounds like I'm being really picky and really sort of fickle, if you will, to borrow a phrase from Daniel Bryan. But I just no. I might need to go back and watch it again, and then I can form a stronger opinion on it. But there just wasn't. It doesn't stand out in my brain. It's not like a Gargano versus Almas or Black versus Cole, or Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream, or Dunn versus Tyler Bate. It doesn't have that sort of instant classic moment in my mind when arguably it should have been.
I think they tried. I've read a comment here from Bleacher Report. Sorry, but they kind of do sum it up quite well, because they said sometimes too much of a good thing can prove detrimental. Dream, Dunn, and Strong are three of the best in-ring performers in NXT. Timing is extraordinary. Chemistry in singles matches fought between them has been undeniable. They're also incredibly creative workers. While that creativity was full on display, the match fell apart midway through. It got messier than necessary at times because of the amount of action and the cutesy spots it tried to pack into it, rather than reverting to the three-way formula that sees one guy powder while the others do their thing. Tried too hard to keep all three involved.
I guess, yeah.
Which kind of resonates a little bit with me. I think they tried to do too much.
Yeah.
Because obviously a lot of Pete Dunne stuff is joint manipulation.
Slow, methodical.
Yeah. Velveteen Dream is very much... He starts his matches like that, but then he ramps it up.
And very flamboyant.
Whereas Roderick Strong is very much technical, I will break your back. But he gets to that by being relatively methodical in his own way.
Sure.
So I think that's why it's having those three together in a match that is a triple threat probably should work, but didn't quite work how we expected it, I think.
Yeah, I guess. And this leads on to Shayna Baszler versus Mia Yim. Now,
honestly, I watched this the morning after, and yeah, it was. I don't know if it's because I'm going to say this and people are going to hate me for it. I'm kind of bored of Shayna Baszler.
I'm not bored of Shayna Baszler. I just don't think she's got a credible challenge. She does now, but she didn't for this match.
Yeah,
and
maybe that's probably what it is.
Honestly,
we've had matches where it's been, yes, it's definitely Shayna Baszler. Yes, it's definitely Shayna Baszler. I genuinely got it wrong this time and thought she was losing it. Don't know why I thought that, because Mia Yim is not credible to be a champion right now.
Right. I don't want to shit on Mia Yim because I didn't know that much about her. Again, NXT, don't watch it week to week. I've seen bits and drips and drabs of her. There's a lot of I sort of put some bits out about Mia Yim, and I was hearing she was incredibly good in TNA and on the indie scene, but she seems to have stalled a little bit since coming into NXT. She seems to maybe have rested on her laurels, so to say. She's a wrestler that can fucking go, but for some reason it just hasn't clicked very well for her for NXT. I don't get the character. I just don't. I don't at the moment, and I'm sure I might do down the line. I mean, you didn't get Velveteen Dream for fuck's sake, so it's
true.
It's kind of possible that I might get Mia Yim sometime down the line. But to me, I said it before. She dresses like she dresses like someone's mum or dad who thinks that's how children dress or young people dress, with the bandana and the baggy bits. It's just there's no character to me. And I'm sorry, and I don't want to be a dick, but it just comes across that I'm being a total dick to this. But the match just felt sloppy. It felt rushed. It just didn't work for me in any way. And I put because Shayna Baszler's had some fantastic matches, but Mia Yim hasn't in NXT, in my opinion. So I put more of the blame on Mia than Shayna. There's calls for Shayna to lose the title. I've seen it all over the place where, I'm bored of Shayna. I've had enough of Shayna. Look, Shayna, I don't mind whether Shayna loses the title or not. It would need to be to a credible champion or to a credible competitor. Mia Yim is not a credible competitor yet. I'm sorry, she's not.
No. The only thing that I did like throughout the match was the continuity of the arm spots. So
she did the code red off the top, and that looked all right.
Trapping her arm in the steps and kicking the steps and just working on that arm over and over again, because it made you think, Baszler's actually struggling here.
Yeah.
But
that saved me from giving it 1 star. Because honestly, I was not invested in this at all. It was of no sort of just nothing to me. It was a void of a match for me, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do feel really bad because I know that Shayna's a really good worker, and I know that I'm sure Mia Yim's a very good worker as well, but this just didn't work for me at all.
Mm. The way that Baszler won as well was obviously very good, because obviously her arm, she can't use it properly. Yeah. So she used a triangle instead, which that still looks as badass as her whatever.
Yeah, clutch. I guess.
So there were positive things to take out of it. But on the whole, it didn't grab me, unfortunately.
No, it wasn't to the standard of an NXT Takeover, personally, in my opinion. And that's, again, maybe harsh, and I'm sorry if that's the case, but to me, it wasn't of a Takeover standard.
And I'm sure Jack will completely abuse us in the DM.
I'm sure he fucking will, but that's, again, that's my opinion.
However, this match...
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, so... Everybody, so we had this conversation about the third fall.
I called it.
And you did call it. I also said, or I was like, Jack thought it was not announced. And I was like, because I tried to check with Matt, because Matt was watching, Matt started about an hour later, but he watched it from the beginning. I didn't watch it from the beginning, but apparently on the pre-show, William Regal did announce what the third fall was going to be. I'd not seen that, but then I'd seen tweets of people taking photos of a black cloth box. That kind of gives it away. It's a very cage.
A very big shark tank.
Yeah. But the fact that I then saw other tweets which had videos or GIFs from the video, which must have been used in the pre-show, which had weapons on it, I was like, wow. But I think they should have kept that a complete secret.
I agree.
Because Jack, the way that he mentioned it to me in the DM, said he popped like a little bitch because of what he saw.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I popped like a motherfucker.
I knew it was coming, so then I was like, I know what's happening. They shouldn't have mentioned it on the pre-show, obviously, because if they'd have mentioned it on the pre-show, that takes all surprise element out of it. Yes, you can't get away with hiding a cage without putting a big black box around it. But I think if they'd have done that, you could go, it's just going to be a cage match. But then when they lower it and you see all the stuff on it, you go, holy shit. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
I already knew what it was, so it kind of spoilt it for me. Should never check Twitter.
No, I know. The match itself was fantastic. The problem is I can't remember it. I can't remember. I can only remember the third fall.
I can.
I'm sorry, my mind's blank. I've been sitting there for the last 5 minutes whilst you've been talking about. We've been talking about all the other stuff. And at the same time, I'm trying to think, what the fuck happened in the Adam Cole Gargano match? I can't remember anything. What's going on in my brain? And all I can remember is some of the mental spots during that last fall.
Well, the first fall was very much a straight wrestling match. So there was a lot of times where they were looking for.
Oh no, finishes. I remember it.
They were looking for finishes a lot. There was a lot of targeting of the knee of Adam Cole.
Yeah.
There was a point where he's putting Gargano put in an ankle lock, injuring the knee even more. He escaped. Then we had knee bar and stuff like that. Yeah. And continued to work the knee, and it looked like he was going to win. But so then we had obviously back and forth. But it obviously showed the frustration that Cole couldn't beat him because obviously he used a Panama Sunrise and a Sunset Driver.
And he couldn't beat Gargano.
And he couldn't beat him with it.
But then Gargano couldn't beat Cole.
Yeah, so he was quite like that. But obviously Cole brought in the chair thinking, I cannot beat this man. I'm going to take him out because I need to, because I can't beat him any other way. But then Gargano's got the same feeling, but then he's got, well, actually, my stipulation's next, which I can win. Yeah. So if I start by losing this one by attacking him with a chair, DQ myself, we can get into the street fight stuff. I can fuck shit up, and then I can beat him.
I really enjoyed that. He welled the fuck up, and he's like, yeah, whatever, bring it on.
Which also works into like the commentators, because like Mauro Ranallo is like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Why would you disqualify yourself? And then McGuinness is like, well, the next one's a street fight, so he's just going to continue, and you can kind of like go, oh yeah, this makes complete sense.
It does. And it was very entertaining, and I just love Gargano's face expression from staring at the hard cam going, wah, don't care, gonna wail on him some more.
The second fall, I don't remember too much of.
No.
I remember more of the first.
Were they fighting in the crowd in that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I don't remember it much, because they just fought in the crowd.
My mind's pretty much drawn a blank.
I know they took out the barricade, but the wrong way. So normally you do it the other way. They did it the ring, which was quite cool.
I'm really sorry. I can't remember anything now. I can't. Jack and Matt will crucify us, and the listeners may crucify us. I'm really sorry.
He brought in the tables. Obviously, it was just beating each other with a chair.
Yeah,
like the chair just fell apart. Like there was bits flying off it because they kept using the same one. We had the tables, but then he didn't use the tables until later on. So the way that the match ended, I'm just reading it because I couldn't remember this either. The steel chair was propped in between the turnbuckles.
Yeah.
It looked like Cole was going to do that to Gargano, but actually it was Gargano did it to Cole, and then when he came back, he got him in the Gargano escape.
Yeah.
But then just the next one was just spot.
And the barbed wire steel cage, complete with weaponry.
Best thing is, what I really like about this was there was like a steel table.
Yeah.
So it looked like a normal table, but with a steel casing over it in one corner. So I was like, we're going to have a top cage spot come in.
Yeah, we know that's happening.
I saw the ladder and I was like, nice. Yeah, I love a good ladder. Obviously, fire extinguisher, kendo sticks, chairs. But then I saw the bag.
Oh, the bag.
And the bag was, I was like the fans in the crowd because I was like, there's thumbtacks in there.
Taxi, you fucking serious?
That's got tacks in there. And then when he got the bag later on, I know I'm jumping a bit, but he got the bag, emptied it, and everybody in the crowd, because it didn't have tacks in it. However, because it was William Regal, 2 lots of brass knuckles, I was like, yes.
Can I say that was a Regal troll? That was Regal trolling. I'm sorry, because what it is, it goes, there should have been some tracks in here. Instead, I put players and some brass knucks. Go fuck yourselves, you smarky bastards.
Loved it. I bet him and Shawn Michaels, because I think Shawn Michaels was very heavily involved in this match.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's troll the fans because they'll hate us for this. But I thought, yeah, this is gonna be cool. And then the barbed wire on the top, I was like, nah, they're not gonna do stuff with this, are they?
They're not.
They've seen AEW. Are they gonna do it? They tried, but you knew it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just chair shots, constant chair shots, fire extinguisher, like the Panama Sunrise off the ladder, so he jumps off the ladder.
Oh, it was nuts.
Oh, it was just so Canadian destroyers. It was just so good. I couldn't.
Ultimately, it ended with at the because we do need to start speeding up because we're well into this now and we've got a lot to go through still. So it ended with the two falling off the steel coated table at the top, through two tables at the bottom. Cole just sort of rolled onto Gargano and got the pin,
which is great. Again, it's another.
And then Gargano did a goodbye, and the people have said believe that he's going to main roster. I don't think he's going yet.
Picture of William Regal holding his arm and his just head's looking the other way. And he's like, I don't want to let go of you because you're so good. Please don't leave us. But no, like the bit with the pliers they were like cutters, weren't they?
Yeah.
So they actually cut some of the barbed wire, which I think Johnny Gargano was trying to use.
Yeah.
Or someone was trying to use, and then they felt like they pulled each other backwards to go through the table.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Interesting. Someone on the phones when interviewing Triple H called out Triple H and WWE for using blood.
I heard about this. I haven't watched it.
I've watched the video. I listened to it. So he pretty much just said, well, Vince McMahon came out the other week and said, we're not going to do any of that blood and gore shit, effectively. Yeah. And he pretty much kept digging and saying, well, what was the reason behind putting blood on Adam Cole? And he went, there was no blood on Adam Cole. But yeah, there was a bit of blood on his back. And Triple H went, you're just digging, mate, because that is accidental because he's brushed his back on the table. Are you going to say that's blood and guts? Like, pretty much called him out on it. And literally everybody in the room were just laughing because obviously Gorilla Position put the video on. Yeah. Because obviously they were there. And I was just like, that's just stupid. People are trying to make WWE look bad for calling out AEW and then trying to twist it to say, oh, you put blood on the TV show. Why are you doing that?
Oh, it's just fishing wankers.
Yeah,
I'm glad Trip shut the fuck up anyway.